Yo,
Hey, what's up?
how are you, man?
What's good, bro?
Can you see me?
I'm good, I'm good. Yeah, I see you. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you, man. All good.
Hold up. Okay, I'm just do it like this. Alright, cool, cool.
Yeah, it was sweet. How are you, man? What have you been up to today?
I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm nothing much. I was just helping around with some housework right now. I have some guests coming, but I'm free right now. I don't have to be
Cool.
there, so I'm good.
Oh, it's cool. It's like pretty late into the evening, is it not?
Yeah, it's almost 9:30. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, cool. And whereabouts are you from? Like which city or which state you're from?
Yeah, so in Canada there are provinces. So I'm from Ontario, and then I'm in the city of Ajax. So that's half an hour away from Toronto.
Ah, cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, man. It's awesome. Thanks for sharing, man. I'm like from Melbourne, so here where.
That's awesome. I visited when I think I was 6 or 7 years old. I
Oh,
went on
really?
vacation and I was there. Yeah.
Cool. Who you with?
I was with my parents.
Yeah, nice. Cool with the family. That's nice, man. What'd you do when you're here in
Yeah.
Melbourne?
Nothing much. We just like visited obviously tourist attractions. We did snorkeling, and my dad did the bridge walk. I forgot what the name of the bridge was.
Sydney Harbour.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay, cool. So you did Sydney, Melbourne. Like, do you do
And then
Queen
New Zealand as well.
and New Zealand? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. You got to come back again sometime. I'm sure there will be another time,
Yeah,
or you'll come
for
back.
sure.
Yeah. So we're just hitting the end of our summer actually here. So yeah,
Yeah.
coming into the fall, which is good. So pretty good weather. How's the weather there?
Yep.
Pretty cold.
It's cold. Yeah. That's what everybody knows Canada for. Like just being cold. So
Yeah,
yeah.
right. That's cool, man. Well, the good thing about being Canadian or being Australian is that we're both under Commonwealth countries, so you can
Yeah,
always
that's true.
come over to Australia and work, and I can always go over to Canada and work as well if I ever wanted to. So yeah, we're very
Yeah,
lucky, man. We live in
that's true.
both beautiful cities and areas, man,
Yeah,
which is
for
really
real.
cool.
That's facts.
Awesome, man. So welcome, man. First podcast, man. You
Yeah,
excited
it's
or what?
crazy. Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm happy you reached out to me.
Man, pleasure, man. For just the audience, just give a little bit of context about yourself, man. You want to introduce yourself, your name, what you do.
For sure.
Yeah.
So my name is Ahmad Mohsin. I'm 15 years old. I turned 16 this Friday, February
Ah,
23rd.
sweet.
I started. So my stage name is the Medic, and I started rapping approximately like almost 3 years ago. So August of 2015,
Hmm.
and ever since then, man, I just been like music has slowly just become like my life just revolves around that. And I'm just really blessed to be in the position I'm at, and like stuff seems to be growing at a pretty nice rate right now.
Mm.
I have new music dropping the end of spring, and like we're just me and my team have just been grinding and grinding every day trying to get everything like together for this release. So it's gonna be a project. I believe 13 tracks. So
Oh,
yeah.
sweet. Yeah. Well, talk about a bit about your team. How did that come about, and who does it include?
Yeah, for sure. So basically the team started so when I was in grade 9, I linked with this dude who was in the same school as me. His name is Horace Choi, and he does videography. So he does YouTube, and he does like just videos overall.
I've checked it out,
So
man.
we
It's fire,
yeah,
man. It's pretty good.
thank you. I appreciate that. He's really skilled and talented.
Hmm.
We're working on new stuff April as well. So basically, I just linked with him because he knew that I did music, and he'd never done a music video before.
Hmm.
So he just reached out to me in the DM, even though we went to the same school, and then we just talked. We chopped it up for a bit. Then we linked up at lunchtime. We just started bouncing ideas back and forth, and then that's how we did my first music video called "Prove a Hater Wrong," and then
Yeah, I
we
like
did
that one.
that in
Hmm.
yeah, thank you. We did that like in Markham, city of Markham. So that's 20 minutes away from Ajax, where I am.
All right.
So we did that there. So he was the first person that I started working with in terms of like building a team for music. Then it was my homie Daniel. So he also went to the same school as me, and he doesn't do music. He's starting his own like brand. He's gonna get into clothing and stuff like that. So like we just started as homies, and then like once like he knew I was doing music, and like I knew that he also had like goals and ambitions for himself as well. Like we just sort of clicked. So he was the second person I linked with. Then the third person I link with, his name is T.J. Stokes. So he's from Maryland in the U.S. and he's my marketing manager. I linked with him almost a month ago. So he reached out to me on Twitter because his assistant had been checking me out and he liked my music. So his assistant told him about me. He reached out to me, and then long story short, we just linked up, started working on some ideas and plans for this project. So it's basically just these are the core people, and then I'm in contact with some photographers, graphic designers, and currently we're just looking for more producers in terms of making beats and stuff. Because normally I just get them off of people like online, but
Hmm.
right now we're trying to find somebody in the area that we can link up with in person, and then we can cook up stuff like in
Sweet.
the same room, I guess. Yeah.
Awesome. That's cool, man. All that and within two or so years, man. It's really good. And just give us some
Thank you.
context, man. Like, what's the age group between all of you guys?
Yeah, so okay, so I'm turning 16. Horace is also he's 15. Daniel turned 16 February 1st. So me, Horace, and Daniel are the same age pretty much. And then TJ, he's 7. He just recently turned 17, I believe. So, yeah.
Crazy. That's so crazy, man. That's so crazy, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is for real.
it's just to think, like 17-year-old guys, just starting all this stuff, man. All the best to you guys, man.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
it's so good to see, you guys start something like this, and really
Yeah.
has some good potential. And yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate that so much, man.
yeah, no, it's awesome, man. So talk about what you're doing on the side of this, man. So obviously you've got a team. You're doing this on the side. I mean, what's your full time kind of thing at the moment right now? Like, what do you still focus on? Is it still school? Is it anything else?
Nah, music is the focus right now.
Okay,
I'm not the best student. I'm not gonna lie,
okay,
but yeah, I'm just mostly into the music, man. That's
okay,
that's the goal. That's what I feel like my purpose and my calling is.
cool. And how do you feel like with support in like friends, family in particular? You know, because
Yeah.
it can be a
So
hard thing.
yeah, with family, it's hard for them to accept, especially like growing up in like an Asian like family,
I get
like
it, man.
South Asian family. It's
I
hard for
get.
them to accept like somebody in their family, especially like young, who wants to get into a creative field. Because normally, like the norm is, you go high school, university, you become an engineer, doctor, lawyer, like the typical, like just because it pays well. But one thing that a lot of people, especially me, I was scared in the beginning because I used to be so scared of what my family was gonna think of me or the people around me were gonna think of me when I decided that this is what I'd want to do for the rest of my life. And one thing I had to do was just like you just have to I mean you only live once and like that's what everybody knows like YOLO like that's a real thing and like you just have to live
Hashtag
it to the fullest. Yeah,
hashtag one life,
hashtag
man.
YOLO,
Hashtag
yeah,
one life.
hashtag one life. Facts.
You
And it's
know it,
just like
man.
you have to take risks and you have to go for these dreams and like it could seem like unrealistic to some people or like it's not going to work out. People are going to doubt you until it comes into full effect and until it actually becomes a reality. It's just that a lot of people don't understand like you can dream and you can have talent, but that'll only take you so far. Like it's 20% like having the talent and whatever, 80% hustling and putting the work in.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. Couldn't agree more. And it's so good that you've discovered this at such a young age, man. Because when I was like
Thank
your,
you, man.
because when I was like your age, man, I was still like just pleasing my parents, still doing the things that I
Yeah,
thought was right to do, man. And it takes a
yeah.
lot of balls and takes a lot of courage to face that, man, and have people
Thank
accept
you.
it. So that's really really good, man. Keep it going, and then
I appreciate that.
prove 'em more wrong, man. Which is the ultimate kind of the
Yeah,
ultimate drive. You know what I mean? Like I feel the same way as
exactly.
well. I left a corporate job,
Mhm.
and for those people who don't know, I left the corporate job and I went to become a PT. So I'm a personal trainer now here in Melbourne,
Mhm. That's
and
awesome, man.
yeah, so I've just flipped my careers around, and I'm working on something more creative, more ambitious. You know what I mean? I've got more ideas. I get to do
Yeah.
what I want to do, and I'm working even harder. You know what I mean? None of this 9 to 5 stuff. I'm
Yeah.
actually working even harder and longer, and I'm sure you're putting in the hours and putting in the work as well,
Yeah.
and
Real.
which is
One
really really
thing
cool.
that people one thing that people might not know about me is that before I started music, so I started music when I was like end of grade 7, so elementary school. But
Mm.
before that, I was an athlete. Like basketball used to be my life before music. Like before I used to think like I was going to like get into the NBA or like just be a pro basketball player. But then like just the music came in like it was so like I've always been a creative like my whole life. Like
Hmm.
since I was a kid, I love drawing, I love storytelling. Like I used to think I was gonna be like an illustrator and author. Then I moved on to basketball, and then like it just found its way into the form of music. Cause I ended up seeing this auto what sorry not autobiography biopic of NWA called Straight Outta Compton. So that was in the summer of 2015, and it's just like watching that movie something just like it lit a spark inside of me. I'm like, these guys like they started making music and it came from a genuine place in their hearts,
Hmm.
and like they were talking about like real stuff. So I'm like, why not try this out for myself? Because I have stuff to express. I have stuff like that I want to talk about. Why not put it into the form of poetry and rhyming? And just like the night that same night, I just wrote my first rap, and like I still have it in my room. But like looking back on that, it was super trash. Like the rhymes were super basic and everything.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's good to look back on that and see the progression and how far I've come. It's like right now I haven't even done like in my opinion I haven't done anything substantial or like huge yet. Like it's a long road to get to the starting line. Like I like this is just like the very early beginning for me.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, you still got heaps of time, man. You're still young, so you just got to
Yeah,
keep crafting your work. You know what I mean? And so,
exactly.
yeah, which is really good to see. Um, yeah, so for all those people who are young, you can take our examples and just commit to
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? You feel so much more free. Like you feel like the monkey's really off the back, and you just feel more free to just do the things
Exactly.
that you want to do. And then from there, you just create the path, and the path gives you a lot of
Mhm.
opportunities. You know what I mean? You never know where it's going to take you, but you
Mhm.
never know if you actually don't start it and commit. So the best thing is do what you love. You know what I mean? If you could do it for free, if you could do it night and day, wherever that passion is, man, you should just go out there and start committing to it. You know what I mean? And not let people's perception of how they want you to be stop you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I 100% agree. And it's like people will tell you and people will doubt you. They will tell you what they would do if they were you, but they're
Mm.
not you. And another reason why they'll doubt you is because in most cases they're too scared to chase their own dreams because they're afraid what people think what people would think of them. So when they see people taking risks and like doing something that makes them happy or something they love, they want to shoot you down because it's sad because the people around us and just society, they don't want to see you happy. They don't want to see you doing what you love and like have like major success. Like as sad as it is, most people don't want to see you have that, which is why like I like to say like get that happiness, get that success, and continue to piss these people off by being you and doing you.
I love it, man. My man, it's so good, man. I love it.
Yeah,
It's
thank
good.
you.
It's so good. It's such a young age to have that kind of maturity, man. So, tell me a little bit about where you got this kind of sense of maturity from. Like, who has inspired you? Who did you look up to? Who has really been kind of like a figure for you to help you grow in such a way that you are now?
Thank you, man. So early on, it started obviously, like I said, with NWA because they
Hmm.
were the first, like I guess, rap artists that I checked out and that I got heavily into.
Yep.
Then that moved on to Eminem, and Biggie Smalls. So I was mostly into like the old school stuff when I started off.
Cool.
Then I started getting into like the new school artists. So like uh, do you know who Logic is?
Yeah, Logic. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so he blew up in 2017 because of that 1-800 record.
Hmm.
I was following him since 2015, so it was the
Hmm.
same year like I started rapping basically. And one thing like by following him heavily like throughout these years like he's become my idol and like I got the chance like I'm blessed enough I got the chance to talk to him when he came to do a show in Toronto
Oh,
in
wow.
September.
How did that
So,
happen?
like before the yeah, so there was a Q&A session before the show. He ended up picking me first because I raised my hand up immediately and like I was ready for the moment. I prepared my question and everything,
Sweet.
and like I got to talk to him for a couple minutes. It was pretty awesome and it felt surreal because he was like this guy I've been watching and like listening to his music for like so many years. Like I finally like he's right in front of my eyes. Like it felt unreal.
Yeah.
So just following him, one thing he's taught me is that like seeking for the acceptance and the approval of others, like that's not the way to go. Like your actions and like all these things, you shouldn't do it to please other people, because in the end, you're not gonna be happy trying to satisfy other people. Kind of
Mm.
like we mentioned before.
Hmm.
So following him, he gave me some of that like mentality and mindset, and then that was more in terms of just like being yourself, making the music you want to make, making the content you want to make, just like carrying yourself with grace and like however you want to carry yourself, just by being authentic, other than like trying to be something you're not. Because like in music, sometimes people aren't accepted as like, oh, you sound too white, or oh, like um I don't know, just people judge you if you're not 6 foot, like you're not 6 feet tall, and you're not an African American, you don't wear chains. It's like if you're not that, then you're whack. Is what
Mm.
some people's perception is.
Mm.
It's like, but in the long run, it's better to be authentic with yourself and keeping it real, like 100%.
Mm.
So that was one thing. That was like a few of the things that I learned from following Logic, and then I started following artists like NF, Fora, Jaden Smith, Childish Gambino, and then a big influence outside of the music world was Gary Vee, who I know that you follow as well. And like I just learned things about like the hustle and putting the work in, putting in the hours, and like I just learned a lot in terms of building my mindset and mentality from him as well.
How did you come across Gary Vee? What was your story, man? Like, how did it start? Do you
So
remember what year and how old you were and where you
yeah,
first saw him?
so it was almost a year ago. He did an interview with Logic in March of 2017.
Yeah, I remember that one.
So yeah, so I saw the thumbnail and like obviously it was Logic, so I clicked on it because it was something I hadn't seen before. And like while I was watching it, like when Gary was saying all the stuff, like I started hating on him in the beginning. I'm like, oh, who does this guy think he is? Like he's saying this hustle and all this stuff. Like he doesn't know what he's talking about. But then and like that's what Gary says. Like when people see me for the first time, it's like they hate on me. But then once they starting to get into more of my content and stuff, like I start to grow on them.
So
And that's
true.
exactly what happened with me. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give this guy another chance. Let me check out. Like I saw some keynote in the recommended section, so I clicked on that. I watched like 30 minutes of it, and then I was like, wow, this guy actually like he's making me feel guilty. It's like I have the
Yeah.
talent, but I'm not putting the work in. I'm not actually grinding in like all this stuff.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
so just consuming more and more of his content and absorbing so much of the stuff, following him, it's like I learned a lot.
Absolutely, man. Good stuff. Yeah, he's definitely a good positive influence. And so is Logic, man. And you
Definitely,
got
yeah.
some, some new artists as well. People like Drake as well. They're such good, role models and influences for us. So
Yeah,
especially for the
real
young and
talk.
for the young and upcoming people. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
yeah, absolutely, man. I love it. Thanks for sharing, brother.
No problem, man.
So what's your goal, man? Like 5, 10 years. I mean, you're still so young, but I mean, what's your 5, 10 year goal?
Yeah.
Like, what does that look like to you?
Um. So right now, man, leading up to the 5-10 year goal, um, me and my team, we're just trying to build a fan base, build that following, so that we can impact people, we can inspire people, influence, motivate, whatever it may be, and like we can start doing tours and like we can start making our passion a living. And it's like a
Good.
long road to get
Mm.
to the starting line, like I said. And it's like it takes a long grind, but just the 5-10 year goal is to just build that huge fan base of dedicated fans that consume all our content, listen to all the music, rep our merch, like just like everything, like how like these big artists have their fans.
I like
It's
it.
like I'm not doing this to like get any Grammy, or I'm not doing this to get any type of reward. It's like just like influencing and inspiring people. Like to me, like that feels like a job well done. But like obviously there's always more you can do. But yeah, just in short, the 5-10 year goal is to build a big fan base, to make a living off of our passion, and just like keep killing the game.
Respect, bro. Respect. And maybe do some collabs. Maybe I don't know. Like, what do you want to say?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm working on collabs for my upcoming project. I have two rappers, two singers. I'm not gonna get into too much details because they're still keeping it like
that's cool. On
we're
the
not
low.
gonna tease too much yet.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
keep
it's
it on
on
the
the
low.
low. Yeah, but yeah, I'm definitely these, and this is the first time I've like started actually collabing with people, so it's gonna be pretty special.
Nice. I like that, bro. I look forward to seeing what comes out from there, man. I'll keep an eye out for it. So
Yep.
maybe give it like
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
let's give like the audience a bit of context about what you actually rap about. Like, what are the stories?
Of course.
What does a
Yeah.
15-year-old, 16-year-old talk about? You know what I mean? What are some of the
Yeah,
issues
man.
that people like? Because those people who've never heard about your stuff. What stuff do you like to
Yeah.
share about?
So honestly, man, it's everything. But I basically the main thing is to make music that people can relate to. Cause I'm not trying to be out here rapping about women and drugs and cash. Cause everybody's doing that. Everybody
Right.
thinks that that's what you gotta do
That's
to
it.
blow up, to succeed, to get
Right.
people, to get attention and stuff like that.
Mm,
And to me, that's BS. Like I
mm,
don't like that.
mm.
So and just like following these idols and the role models that I follow. It's like I've learned like you gotta be real with yourself and like just like making music to relate to. So I talk about things I've been through, like family problems, if it may be,
Mm-hmm.
or like there was a time when I was like a few months ago, I was like at a very low point. I'm dealing with a lot of anxiety and depression, and I had a lot of self doubt. It's just like talking about myself, my goals, my ambitions,